Hello, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing good. Today's video is another requested video, which is going to be part 2 on how to crochet. So in this video I'm going to be showing you how to do a magic ring in 2 different ways. Some people find one easier than the other. A half double crochet and a double crochet. In the last video, in part 1, we learned how to do a slip knot, a chain and a single crochet. If you haven't seen that video, you should definitely go check that out, because then this video will be easier to understand for you. We are going to be using an acrylic yarn. I always recommend to start with an acrylic yarn, not like chenille yarn or anything. Especially when you're trying to make a magic ring, the yarn will snap really easily. And I always recommend using a bigger hook when you're a starter, because if you use a smaller hook and you have tight tension, you'll never be able to get your hook through the stitches. So we're going to be working with an acrylic and a bigger hook. We are going to be using a Aran yarn. This is Caron Simply Soft, and a 6mm hook. And I'm going to show you the first way I make the magic ring, and then I'm going to show you the way other people make it. Okay, so this is just how I do it. So we're going to put our yarn on our 4 fingers like that, leaving just a little bit, but you don't have to leave too much. We're going to use our thumb to pinch it between our ring finger and our pinky finger. We're going to move these 2 fingers like that, and we're going to use our working yarn to go around. Okay, so you have 2 loops, 2 strands, whatever you want to call it, on the back. Okay, so we've got our yarn. We're going to use our thumb to pinch it. We're going to wrap our yarn, do it loosely, around to give it 2 strands. Okay, then we're going to tuck it under your pinky, and you're going to use your pinky to keep it steady, or whatever you want to call it. I'll show you that again. So we've got our yarn, pinching it with our thumb, going to wrap our working yarn around our 2 fingers. Okay, so we have 2 loops on the back, and we're just going to use our pinky to hold that in place. You can use your thumb if you want as well, but make sure your tension isn't too tight. Okay, so once we have that, make sure you can move your fingers so it's loose. Okay. We're going to take our hook and we're going to put it in upside down. We're going to go under that first stitch, and we're going to grab that second stitch, and we're going to pull that second stitch, okay? And we're going to twist our hook. Okay? Once we've got that, we're going to go into this stitch here where we've pinched it with our pinky. We're going to go into there, grab our yarn, and we're going to pull it through that stitch, and that is how I do my magic ring. I'll show you that one more time, and then I'll show you the other way. Got our yarn, we're using our thumb to pinch it there. We're going to wrap it around and use our other finger, our ring finger, to pinch it with our pinky. Okay, then we're going to go under our first strand with the hook facing down, and we're going to grab our second. Okay, we're going to pull, and we're going to twist. So you've got like a little X on your hook. Once you've done that, we're going to go through this one here that we've pinched with our pinky. So we're going to put our hook down. We're going to turn our hook. We're going to grab the yarn, and we're going to pull it through that stitch. Sometimes it is difficult, but you can. I believe in you. And then that way you do your crochets, your stitches, and then you can pull it that way. The second way people do it, if they struggle obviously doing the part I have just done, they do a slip knot. If you don't know how to do a slip knot or chain, definitely go check out part 1. I show you all on there. Make sure it's not too tight on your hook. Make sure it's still pretty loose. Then you're going to chain 2, so that's 1, and then that is 2. We're going to go into that first chain that we have just made, and that is your magic ring. Okay, so say it says 5 stitches, 10 stitches, 8 stitches, 6 stitches, however many, you put them in there, and then you use your tail and you pull, and that is your magic ring done. I'll show you that one more time. So we're going to do a slip knot, put our hook in, we are going to chain 2. We're going to go into our very first chain, and however many stitches your pattern says or however many stitches you want to do, you place in this, and this works as your magic ring. Okay, once you've done your desired amount of stitches, you're going to pull on this bit here and you're going to pull it closed. And that is how you do a magic ring, what people call the easier way. We are now going to do a half double crochet. So if you haven't seen how to do a slip knot and a chain, definitely check out my first video. I do show it all in there. So we are going to obviously chain however many we want. I'm just going to crochet 10. So we have our 10 loops here, as you can tell. Oh gosh, that's fluff. We never go into the first stitch. We always start in the second stitch. Can you see it there? Our second stitch. So it's just like a single crochet. Obviously we go into the stitch and we grab our yarn, but first we're going to yarn over. So we have this loop on our hook, and then we're going to go into that stitch. So once we're through the stitch, that was a bit tight, we're going to grab our yarn. Okay, so twist your hook, face it down so you can pull it through properly. We're then going to twist our hook up so you have 3 loops on your hook. We're then going to grab our yarn and pull through all 3. I'll show you that again. So we have our loop here, which we're going to put our hook in. Okay, so we're going to yarn over, and then we're going to go straight into that stitch. So I'm going to go straight in. Then we're going to face our hook down and grab our yarn and pull it through. Face your hook up, so then you have 3 loops on your hook. We're going to grab our yarn, grab it up, twist, and then we're going to pull through all 3 loops. And that is a half double crochet. So we're now going to go into our next loop here. So we're going to yarn over, grab our yarn, and we're going to go into the stitch here. So we're going to insert our hook into the stitch. Facing your hook down, you're going to grab your yarn and you're going to pull it through that stitch. Once it's pulled through, make sure you twist your hook up or else you could lose that stitch. So then you have 3 loops on your hook. Okay, so we're going to turn our hook to the right, up, left, pull through all 3. Okay, so now we're going to go into this next stitch. Going to yarn over. We're going to go into that stitch. We're going to grab our yarn facing the hook down and we're going to pull it through. We're then going to twist our hook up, so there's 3 loops on the hook. We're going to grab our yarn, right, up, left, pull through. And once you've pulled through, always twist your hook back up so you don't like lose your stitches, sort of thing. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we're going to yarn over, going to go into our stitch, going to grab our yarn, pull through, so you have 3 on your hook, right, up, left, and pull through. So this is how you do a half double crochet. Now I am going to show you how to start a new round of half double crochets. It's a bit like the single crochets on how to do that. I've done my stitches too tight here. So yeah, so let me just finish this chain. Like I said, if I have said, I'm not sure. I've not crocheted a video with nails on, and I'm not very good at explaining things anyway. Oh, that's a tight stitch. So once you have got to the end of your row, it should look a bit like this. If your stitches are all over the place, that is okay as well. Obviously, tension takes practice. So once we have got to the end of our row, we're going to chain 1. And we're going to turn our work from the front to the back. Okay, and then we have these little V's on top here. Can you see? So we are going to go straight into those V's. We're going to start on the first one. You can start on the first one. When you chain, always start in the second. But when you go to work in your like rows, you can always start in the first. Okay, so there's our first V that we're going to go into. Can you see it's a V? We're going to go into that V. So we're going to yarn over. So we've got a loop on the hook. We're going to go into that V. Okay, grab our yarn and pull through. Make sure your hook is up, twist, pull through all three. Okay, so we have a V here, and we obviously have a gap underneath. We're going to go into that gap. So we're going to yarn over, place our hook into that gap. So the V is on top of your hook. Don't know if you can see that. We're going to grab our yarn, face your hook down and pull through. Twist your hook up, turn it, and pull through all three loops. I think I'm struggling a little bit with these nails. I'm not going to lie, this isn't my finest work. So I'm going to show you that again. So we have our V's and we have our holes in the V's. Going to yarn over, go into that hole. Okay, we're going to grab our yarn, facing the hook down, pull through, twist up. So you've got three loops on your hook. We're going to grab our yarn up, turn, pull through all three stitches. Yarn over, go into that V. Grab our yarn, pull through. So we have three loops on our hook. Yarn over and twist. Okay, so that is how we end up doing our second row, and it just repeats for as ever many rows that you desire. Let's just get to the end of this row. Your last stitch will always be tricky. I think I'm going to struggle with this now as well. So you think you might have ended, but you haven't. You always have a stitch at the end. It's another V, but it's kind of like not as upright as the others. Okay, so we're going to do the same and we're going to go straight into that stitch. Okay, so we're going to go into that V. This is why make sure your tension is looser than mine. We're going to grab our yarn, pull through, so we have three loops on our hook, yarn over, twist, pull through. Okay, and then we're going to chain one, turn our work back to the front, and we are going to continue in the V's. Okay, so we're going to yarn over, go into our first V, grab our yarn, pull through, so you've got three loops on your hook, yarn over, twist, and pull through all three. Yarn over, insert your hook, grab your yarn, make sure your hook's facing down, and then grab your yarn up, twist, and pull through. Not very good with explaining things. I think I have just said that. I have the memory of a goldfish, so excuse me. But yeah, this is how we do a half double. It's just like a single, but you yarn over before you go into your stitches. So it is a pretty simple stitch, and it's very, very similar for a double crochet as well, which I will show you here in a second. Oh, my arm's all tangled. And the same on this row. Oh gosh, oh gosh. We have our other stitch here. We have our V. It's obviously just not sat on the row the same as the other ones. So we're going to yarn over and we're going to go into that stitch. I always find corner stitches more difficult to go into. Grab our yarn, twist up, twist, and pull through. And then we're going to chain one and twist our work, turn our work, and then you're just going to continue in those V's, which have the gaps here. And that is how you do a half double crochet. So now we're going to do our double. So make a chain. Oh gosh, oh gosh. I mess up a lot more than people think. I think a lot of crocheters do, which is why I don't ever normally make tutorials on how to crochet, because I'm not the best at it myself. Oh, how many stitches is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have our chain, just like before, and we always go into the second stitch, not the first one. So we're going to yarn over, just like we did in our half double, and we're going to go into our stitch, okay? And we're going to grab our yarn and pull through. Okay, so we have 3 loops on our hook, just like a half double, but we're not going to go through all 3. We're going to grab our yarn and we're only going to pull it through the front 2. We're not going to pull it through this one. So we're just going to pull it through the front 2. Okay, so then we have 2 loops on our hook. We're going to grab our yarn again and then we're going to pull it through these 2. And that is a double crochet. I have done my stitches. Well, I think I've done some of them loose and some of them tight. So we've got our second loop, yarn over, we're going to place it into that stitch. We're going to grab our yarn and pull through just like a half double. Grab our yarn, so twist up, twist, and we're only pulling through the first 2, leaving that last stitch on the hook. Then we're going to grab our yarn, up, twist, twist. I think I said that the wrong way around. And we're going to pull through. You will see a gap depending on how loose your stitches are. Depends on, oh gosh, I've got things sticking to me today. Depends on obviously your gap, but when you do multiple rows, that gap will not look as bad, I think. Grab our yarn, we're going to go through our next stitch. I'm going to grab our yarn again, so we have 3 loops on our hook. We're only going to go through these 2. Grab our yarn, twist up, down, and we're going to pull through those 2, leaving that last loop on our hook. And then we're going to grab our yarn and we're going to pull it through. Oh gosh, pull it through those 2. So we're going to do that again. 3 loops on our hook, pull through the first 2, and then pull through the second 2. Going to do that again, straight into the next stitch. Grab our yarn, so we have 3 on our hook. Go through the first 2, leaving that last one on the hook, and then we're going to yarn over and go through the second 2. So we're going to do that again. We're going to go into the stitch. We're going to grab our yarn and pull through. So we have 3 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, leaving that last one on the hook. Then we're going to grab our yarn, so twist up, twist, and we're going to pull through those other 2 stitches. And this is a double crochet. So I think if you can master a single and a half double, you should get a double no problem. It can take a while to learn, but you will definitely master it if you stick with, well, crocheting. So that is our row of double crochets. Okay, now we normally chain 1 for a half double and a single, but because this is obviously a lot taller of a stitch, we're going to chain 2. And then we're going to turn our work just like the single and just like the half double. And the same principle goes. You've got these V's on top and you're going to go into the stitches. So we're going to yarn over. You can always go through the first one. Never just go through the second one unless the pattern says so. It's different to the chain. So we're going to go into our first hole there. And we're going to put our hook through. We're going to grab our yarn. So we have 3 loops on our hook. Leaving this one on your hook, we're going to yarn over, pull through these 2. Then we're going to yarn over again and pull through the second 2. Yarn over, go into your V. Grab the yarn facing the hook down, pull through, twist your hook up so you have 3 on your hook. We're going to twist up, twist and pull through the first 2, leaving that third one on your hook. We're going to go twist up, twist and pull through the second 2. And this is literally how to do a double crochet. So you will have a V there. We will need to obviously go into that V. So we're going to push it through our yarn, grab our hook, and just the same, we're going to pull through 2 and pull through another 2. Oh gosh. And then we're going to chain 2. We're going to twist, and we're going to work back in our gaps. Okay, so yarn over, go into the first gap and grab your yarn, pull up, so you have 3 on your hook, going to yarn over and pull through the first 2. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through the second 2. And that is how you do a double crochet. I hope that's helped you a little bit, maybe with one of them. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe if you're not already. I also want to say a massive thank you. We have hit 10,000 subscribers, so thank you all very much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!